Jason Kelce, man.
Jason Kelce.
Yeah, he's out there saying, keep my brother's name out your mouth.
Oh, yeah. Damn, really?
Yeah, man.
Whoa, what did they do to
Dude had a big old dust up. He was at a college game, Ohio State, Penn State. Jason's there.
Okay.
And so walking through the crowd, someone, overzealous fan or maybe an anti-fan, has some derogatory terms, a gay slur that begins with an F. And he said this to Jason about Kelce. So one thing led to another. It doesn't show exactly how it took place because there is some video footage.
Wait, he said it to Jason?
Yeah, about Travis.
Using the F word?
Yeah, using the F word, man. And call that to Travis.
Yeah.
But saying it to Jason.
Yeah.
So one thing leads to another. Jason gets a hold of this fan's phone and goes all Hulk smash.
That's right.
And throws it to the ground. At one point, Jason got pushed because I think he was bending over to get the phone, and the fan pushed him. So he showed some restraint, right? And he got up and he got in his face. He didn't put his hands on this fan, but he did get in his face and essentially dropped the F word, like, Who's the F now?
Right.
The F now? He said like three or four times.
Yeah.
Nose to nose, face to face. Guy didn't do anything. Then he turned, and then some people got him, kind of broke it up, pushed it away, and Jason kind of walked off and everything. So when you see this, it's just like, whoa, because I couldn't help but think of Jason works for Mickey Mouse now. And can you go out there start dropping the F gay slur to people multiple times? Can you smash someone's phone? Right? Can you go nose to nose even if they talk to your brother? So my question to you is, if you're Jason, do you carry that because they were talking about your brother and step to him and just risk it all? Or do you adhere to all of the sponsors and everything else that you have going on and fall towards sticks and stones, break bones, names, never hurt me, and just keep it moving?
Well, I mean, listen, in that situation and at that time, and you and I always talk about this, I am J-Rob, right? I am who I am. I'm not where I work, whether it's at Disney or wherever the hell I work, right? I am me. My family is my family. And at that particular moment, you're not thinking about, well, I work at Disney. That's nowhere in your mind. The only thing that's in your mind, and the only thing that went into your ears and into your brain bank is that he's talking about my brother. Like, you have to be there. Listen, you can talk any way to your brother, your mother, your sister, your friends, whoever you want to, right? But when a stranger comes up and talks about your brother like that and drops that kind of word, it's an automatic thing where you just, boom, like you're not even thinking at that time, right? Now, to the other part of your question, I think that you're asking, is it a smart thing to do something like that? Probably not. Probably not. I would say not. It's definitely not. However, in a moment like that, it's just, you just snap. And you have to defend your brother and defend your name and just, listen, I'm just saying, I'm not out there saying that you should tag. I'm just saying, I can see why. I can see why anybody would do that. You have to defend your family. Like, there's no way. Listen, you would do that for your family. I would do that for my family. We would all do it. He's a human being, just like we are. He puts his pants on one leg at a time, so it is what it is. So I think he did the right thing. He stepped up. He defended his brother, and he will let the chips fall where they may and forget about Disney for a second, because you were born a Kelce, so you rep and always stand up for the Kelce name.
Let me ask you this. Do you think there's something to be said for the fact that Jason is a recently retired professional football player?
Yeah.
Right? As sports leagues go, this is one of the more hostile environments as an away team. going into these places. He has heard it all, I am sure, right? Especially because he's a champion. He's got a ring. And when you're winning, everyone hates you except your home team. I have to believe that he's heard far worse than that about him, about his brother, about his brother's girlfriend, his wife. We've seen Jason step to people before, and his wife has done that. I'm wondering how much of this is Jason, right? And it just so happens to be that this person was talking about his brother, but maybe this is a bit more of just kind of Jason's way. And if so, maybe there is a reason to have a conversation with them, right? Before it does get worse, before he doesn't have the wherewithal to not put his hands on someone. I'm just thinking along those lines.
I like the fact that this wasn't actually pointed towards Jason, because I believe it was pointed towards Jason himself. I don't think he would have said anything, and I don't think he would have did anything. However, when you are, because listen, people can say anything about me, and I don't really give a shit. I'm like, okay, whatever, whatever. I don't really. But when you're talking about my lady, my brother, my sister, my mom, my family, you know, like that hits deep. So I think there's a big difference. And now, you know, the Kelce brothers, the New Heights, all this fame, it's way different for the Kelce brothers today than it was, say, even 3-4 years ago, right? They are at the height of their fame. They are making so much more money. And I know what you said, that he's probably heard things like this before. Maybe, but right now, today, it's coming tenfold. He's hearing it so much more, so many negative things about him and his brother because they are so much more famous than they were 3 years ago, 4 years ago. They're just way more famous. So I think right now he's probably just had enough of it, and it's coming and it's coming. And then, again, like I said before, it didn't come at him. He probably would have been able to fend that off and not really get outrageous or whatever like that. But you're talking about his family, it's a whole different reason. So I can see why he snapped or whatever. Again, it's not the smart thing to do, but I'm all in for what he did. I love how he stepped up and represented and really protected his family. I think that's what we should all do. I know you would do it. I know I would do it. Stop thinking about Disney. Stop thinking about the money for the second, because it's just, they're never going to be poor.
You know what? If I'm Kelce, I'm saying, hey, big bro, good looking out, man. Thanks for stepping up. Thanks. I appreciate you doing that.
Yeah.
But don't do that again. Don't do that again. Don't risk it. Don't risk all of that. We are not even as famous as we are going to be. And if people realize that they can get to you that way, set you off that way, someone's going to do it. Someone's going to look at a payday, right? Look to make a payday. He's already made millions playing the game for a long time. And now on top of that, we've talked about his $100 million deal as a podcaster. Someone's going to be looking for a payday. And if they know that they can push his buttons, because like I said, this is not the first time where there's been a blow up with him. People are trying him. So if I'm Travis, I'm saying, hey, thanks for stepping up. One, your safety first. So I don't want you getting involved in anything. And then I want you to kind of protect your assets. And if I'm his brother, I'm saying my assets too, because we're in the show together, right?
We're doing the show together.
Kind of stuff. And if that means, you know, Jay, if that means he needs to have security with him, right? Take the long route as opposed to cutting through where crowds and stuff are. Like maybe he, you know, as a football player, especially as an old lineman, generally people don't know who these folks are. Right. I've had friends that
Jason, right?
I have friends that played. Friends that played in the NFL, and we go out, and generally people don't know who the hell they are. They've got the helmets on, and unless you're one of those faces where you're a really important pitch man, no one knows who you are.
Not at all.
He doesn't have that anymore. People really know who Jason is. So maybe some of this is
That's
new
why I
for
said
him.
It's new. Right. It's new.
Right. It's new for him. So he's going to have to really adjust to this beautiful life that the good Lord has blessed him with. But if people realize that they can set you off by name calling, then he's got a long got a long life to live, man. Difficult life to live, a long, difficult life to live, because people are going to try him. I'd say, listen, tune it out. And if maybe you get security or something, or make some sort of provisions to avoid that kind of stuff until you get your anger management, if you will, under control. Because right now, wow, he's a powder keg right now.
And listen, and to your point, it's right, you know. But this has been going on since the beginning of time. I mean, Jason, if he needs to go have a talk with Mike Tyson, other entertainers, Bobby Brown, there are people who are going to test them because, yes, to your point, they want a payday, right? So
absolutely.
they have to be smart enough to think like that. However, Kay, again, in that moment, you're not thinking like that. Again, they're human beings just like you and I. So if people come and step to us in our face and they're using the F word against us, I mean, you really would think that. So are you saying that, first of all, are you saying that you are more able to keep yourself under control because, no. So you're saying, well, let me say, if that happened to you, you think you'd be able to keep yourself under control, or do you think you might snap just like them?
I want to believe that I would be able to keep myself under control. Now, I listen. I'm not Jason. I'm not Kelce. I don't have that level of fame. Mm-hmm. But I guess my point is it's a new day, man. Right? Like, I don't have that level of fame. Hell, Jason doesn't have that level of fame. Like, he's not even used to that, right?
He's not even used to that.
Right. So I get wanting to step up and protect the name of your brother. He probably hears it all the time, especially with who his brother dates. He probably hears all kind of nonsense. And he's a big brother, right? He's protective of his brother. Right. Like, all of that instinctual stuff just
shot out right there.
Right, kicked in, and so now it's just, as I said before, Hulk smash mode.
Right.
But with all of that being said, you can't. It's not sustainable.
Are you saying that only because of their worth? Like, are you just saying, they should? Oh,
no. I think all of it. I think part of it is because of his worth. I think his worth makes him more of a target. Right. I think it makes him more of a target because people are going to want to pay that, and they just want him to bump him. Right. Like, I don't even think people will say something to him and challenge him. Not that people think they can kick his ass. Mm-hmm. They're willing to take that punch to the face, right? If it's going to be a payday,
right?
I don't even think it's even trying to beat him up. It's trying to get beat by him, right?
It's trying to beat by him to get the money. Right. But I guess my question to you is: do you think? Are you more for them curtailing themselves and making sure they don't do that just so they can protect their money? Is that the only reason?
No, it's not the only reason. I think also
the main reason.
Well, I don't know if it's the main reason, but it is I think that reason is what will motivate people.
No, I know that.
Right. So I would say, since that is the reason for, so match that. If that's the reason that's going to motivate people to step to you and to kind of create this chaos, then you should approach it with the same fervor.
So you mean motivate Jason not to react,
right, to that, because if you know what the motive is, right, like it's really, listen, I think it's a different. It may not feel different, but it's different when you believe that they're only doing that to get a payday. Somebody's just doing it because they're trying to come up, versus maybe that person really did have an axe to grind with Travis. Oh, really? Like, you got a beef with my brother. He probably didn't have a beef with his brother. Probably felt like maybe this thing will kind of set him off.
But you're saying, in that moment, like I said, I don't think they could be thinking that smart at that point. They hear the F word and they're just going. They're not thinking. I know what you're saying, but they're not thinking like that. At that moment.
But that's the rub, right? The rub is you've got to develop that part of you, so that none of that stuff penetrates you, affects you. Right? Listen, somebody's just yelling while you're walking past. As far as we know, he's just walking past, somebody's yelling. Like, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Okay. If someone puts hands on you, someone throws something, that's different.
Right.
If you're walking past and someone says, hey, your brother, and uses a gay slur, Man, you gotta keep it moving.
Right. You
Like,
know your brother ain't gay.
Right.
You know your brother's dating the number one
Right.
singer in the world.
But you're gonna grab somebody's phone and break it, and like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just aggressively grabbing someone's phone, depending how you grab it. Next thing you know, somebody's trying to hit you with an assault charge.
Right.
Because you scratched their hand or you broke my finger. Wink, wink. You know, all kind of. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just leave it. And then the other part is when the gentleman pushed him, Jason fell back and then got up. When I saw it, I was like, uh-oh. I thought Jason was going to swing on him, but Jason got up and got in his face. Now the gentleman didn't back down or anything, but it does make you wonder, was he willing to put his chin out there? You know what I mean?
I would.
Maybe. Right.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Listen, so according to the news, they haven't found out who this guy is. They haven't identified, maybe because he had a hoodie and everything on.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Maybe he was about it. Maybe he was about that life, and it was like, I don't give a shit who Jason is. You know, he can get these hands.
Right.
Or maybe he was like, "Oh, hit me, please, hit me, hit me." Right. You know
I'm hungry.
Right, exactly. So that's the part where you just kind of, you know, it's like that's where he's just got to be like, "Yo, leave it alone." Just like I said, this is not the first time where we hear something, whether it's him, whether it's his wife. Yo, you were going to be targets, man. Right? Like, it's unfortunate, but some of this comes with it. This is the life that we chose, right?
Yeah.
You know, when we're out, we get noticed, and so it isn't all. Listen, nothing like to the level of where they are, but you get recognized, and so fortunate. Knock on wood, people have been nice.
That's true.
But somebody going to yell at me and be like, "Yo, I hate Jay."
Exactly.
And I'm going to turn around and be like, "Me too."
Yeah, that son of a bitch.
right. That's what Jason should have said. Yeah, he is an F word.
No, that is true. And to your point, like it's what you said, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words should never harm me, right? Like, especially when you have that amount of money and that amount of fame, you could be hurt way more by that lawsuit and just getting your name out there. So I hear you. So he's got to get thicker skin.
Indeed.
The best advice. Best advice.